For generations, the Nguyen family stood as a pillar of power and prosperity in their corner of Vietnam, their name synonymous with wealth and influence. Dubbed the Timber King, Peter Nguyen had carved out the region's mightiest lumber empire, his sawmills stretching across the land, churning out rare hardwoods that graced homes from Hanoi to far-off shores. Yet beneath the sheen of his triumphs, Peter was a man who placed family honor above all else, sometimes at the cost of the very bonds that held his kin together. His opulent mansion, adorned with exquisitely carved furniture, each piece a testament to his craft, hid the quiet fractures of a family strained by his unyielding pride. Peter had two sons, Jame the elder and Hung the younger. Jame was his father's pride and joy, molded by elite international schools and blessed with a brilliant mind. Once a celebrated plastic surgeon, Jame had taken the reins of the family business, propelling it to new heights with cutting-edge innovations. Peter doted on him, entrusting Jame with unwavering faith. Hung, however, lived in his brother's shadow. Devoted and hard-working, he poured his heart into preserving the family's legacy, yet Peter often brushed him aside, as if Hung's sweat and loyalty could never measure up to Jame's brilliance. Into this world of power and tension stepped two women, each carrying a spark that would ignite the Nguyen family's saga. Ly Tu Ca and Ly Tu Diep. Tu Ca was a single mother, raising her young daughter Han in a ramshackle home on the town's outskirts. Her life was a tapestry of hardship, woven with the scars of an abusive husband who had abandoned her years ago. Yet Tu Ca's spirit remained unbroken, her warmth and resilience a quiet defiance against her trials. Hung had come to her aid, patching her leaky roof, playing with little Han, and from those small acts of kindness a tender, steadfast love had blossomed. In stark contrast, Tu Diep was the embodiment of poise and cunning. With a radiant smile and a silver tongue, she swiftly won Peter's admiration, positioning herself as the perfect candidate for a daughter-in-law, a polished gem to adorn the Nguyen legacy. Trouble brewed when Peter's biases surfaced. He regarded Tu Ca with icy contempt, dismissing her as a single mother with a child of questionable origins, unfit to cross the threshold of his noble house. Without seeking the truth, he suspected Han was not Hung's daughter. Meanwhile, he cherished Tu Diep, seeing in her the elegance and ambition that mirrored his own vision for the family's prestige. Despite Hung's deep love for Tu Ca, Peter demanded he forsake her to protect the family's reputation. Jame, smitten with Tu Diep, basked in his father's enthusiastic approval. Tu Ca, as a single mother, bore the weight of a grueling life, long days of toil, sleepless nights cradling Han, and the lingering pain of a past marked by cruelty. Her former husband had left her humiliated and broken, but she refused to crumble. Strong and sincere, she held fast to her warmth and Hung's quiet kindness, his hands fixing her weathered home, his laughter mingling with Han's, kindled in her a fragile hope for a brighter future. Their love was profound, yet it was overshadowed by Peter's towering expectations. Peter, the indomitable Timber King, was the heart of the conflict. He had built his empire with calloused hands and unrelenting will, but his obsession with honor had hardened him. He valued reputation over affection, exalting Jame while diminishing Hung. To him, Tu Diep was the ideal match, while Tu Ca, a single mother, threatened the pristine image he had crafted. His suspicions about Han's paternity fueled his resolve to keep Hung from her, heedless of their love. Hung, the loyal younger son, had always lived in Jame's shadow. His love for Tu Ca burned fiercely, but Peter's command to abandon her for the sake of honor cut deep. Jame, the gifted heir, steered the lumber business through crises with technological savvy, strengthening the empire. He supported his bond with Tu Diep, but Peter's favoritism left Hung feeling abandoned, a wound that festered in silence. The storm broke at a lavish gala hosted by Peter in his grand estate, a night meant to showcase Tu Diep as family. The guest list brimmed with powerful partners and high society friends. Tu Diep, resplendent in a flowing silk dress, was the evening star, lauded by Peter as if she were already a Nguyen. Tu Ca, however, was deliberately excluded, even forbidden from attending. Defiant, Hung secretly invited her, hoping to sway his father's heart. When Tu Ca arrived, her simple yet dignified dress radiating quiet strength, the room fell hushed. Peter's voice sliced through the silence, cold and cutting. "What are you doing here?" "This is no place for someone like you." His words stung like a lash, but Tieu Ca stood tall, unshaken. Hung, his anger flaring, stepped forward. "Tieu Ca is the woman I love, and you have no right to insult her." The confrontation shattered the evening's polish, whispers rippling through the crowd like wildfire. Jame, ever the peacemaker, sided with his father, urging Hung to preserve the family's dignity. To Hung, Jame's words were a betrayal, a dagger driven by the brother he trusted. After the gala, Tieu Ca returned to her modest home, holding Hung close as silent tears fell. She faced mounting bills and society's scorn but remained resolute in raising her daughter. Hung, exiled from town at his father's command, sent her money and letters, promising to return. Meanwhile, Tu Diep tightened her grip on the Nguyen family, diving into the lumber business with bold ideas that boosted profits and cemented her place in Peter's eyes. Yet beneath her poised exterior, she feared Tieu Ca could unravel her carefully laid plans. Months later, Hung returned, no longer the overshadowed son but a man steeled by resolve. He carried a revelation that would shake the family's foundations, a DNA test proving Han was his daughter. In a tense family meeting, he laid the document before Peter. "You were wrong to doubt Tieu Ca. Han is my child, and I won't let you tear us apart." The room froze. Tieu Ca stood by his side, her eyes glistening but fierce. Peter, staggered by the truth, clung to his pride. "Truth or not, she's still unworthy. Our name will not be tarnished." Tu Diep, sensing her position slipping, spoke with calculated grace. "Father, I'll help protect our legacy. Tieu Ca only brings trouble." Her words ignited Hung's fury. Jame, caught in the crossfire, began to see the depth of Hung and Tieu Ca's bond. Yet his loyalty to Peter and his ties to Tu Diep held him back. He wavered, torn between blood and duty. Peter Nguyen, the Timber King, had built his empire with sweat and iron will. A man who never bowed to storms or softened to weakness. To him, honor was the armor forged from a lifetime of struggle, the pillar that kept his family upright under the world's scrutinizing gaze. But that very honor had become a chain, binding the hearts of those he loved most. Jame, the son on whom Peter pinned his hopes, felt his certainty waver. Years of study abroad and success had taught him to trust logic and perfection, but now, faced with Hung's pain, Tieu Ca's unwavering strength, and Han's innocent purity, his heart stirred. He didn't resent Hung or fear Tieu Ca, but he had always walked the path laid out for him. Now, as that path forked between family and truth, he wondered, what am I holding on to? And what am I losing? Tu Diep, ever the strategist, refused to yield. With subtle steps and words that sank into Peter's mind like rain into stone, she had carved out her place. She believed that as long as Peter rejected Tieu Ca, the doors of the Nguyen household would remain shut to her rival. What happens next? Will Peter's heart soften? Or will his pride consume all he holds dear? Can Hung and Tieu Ca's love withstand the weight of tradition? And how far will Tu Diep's ambition carry her? Stay tuned for the next chapter of this gripping saga.